Alrighty, Malaysia. It has been a pleasure speaking to you so far. I appreciate you making time for me this afternoon as well. I briefly let you know about the client and what their expectations are, as well as what your duties entail. I would love to know more a little bit about you and your professional experience. So tell me a little bit about your professional background, Malaysia.
Yeah, so I do have experience in doing HR rolling and administration, also doing payroll support. So my first position, about maybe like 2 years ago, I did payroll support for a company named Lockheed Martin. So basically, making sure that those employees got paid out correctly on their checks. So that's including shift differential rates, any like pay codes of where they're stationed at. Also, just making sure that their pay is right, doing settlement, if they got laid off, settlement payouts, just making sure everything was correct. If there was a problem, I did caseworking on working with different states on getting the different states, the payroll department roles of those states, getting those fixes worked out. And then I head on to a position doing HR administration for nurses, basically handling their onboarding with the nurses, making sure that their certifications was correct, getting their payroll information, entering in the database. We use QuickBooks to do the payroll and also doing all the information for their employee. So I have a bit of background in payroll and HR.
Beautiful. And in your resume, I can see that you've done human resources. You've done that role before, the human
Yes.
resource assistant side. You have roughly about 2 years working in that role. You've handled the payroll, of course. Did you work with payroll as far as a system, or were you utilizing an Excel spreadsheet?
So we did Excel and both because we had to report documents. So Excel is better to like keep it as far as the company keeping up with the paperwork and everything sorts of like numbers. So Excel was the best way, but for the system, of course, that's just like input everything, input information.
Yeah, beautiful. You also mentioned onboarding. Did you have to conduct talent sourcing, conduct the actual interviews, and then you handle the onboarding? Tell me a little bit about that process.
Yeah, so the onboarding, so I would interview the candidates. We use Indeed,
Mhm.
ZipRecruiter to recruit the candidates. Basically go through a screening of questions, their certifications, where would they like to be placed at. So we work with different states on placing these nurses or LPNs or CNAs, sorry, and placing them in different nursing homes. So, and I also send out like the drug screening for us, like doing Quest diagnostics, I believe that we use. So yeah, just basically giving them the whole rundown of the company, making sure they're all good to go for nursing homes, creating badges. So yeah, I did like the whole onboarding, even hosting the orientations so when they first start.
Awesome. That was my next question. If you conducted the new hire orientations, which you mentioned you have, so that is amazing. Tell me, with your role there, did you ever have to pull any kind of reports at all? If so, what systems did you utilize with
hmm
that?
I can't remember the exact system, but we did do reports as far as like the employees like feedback from the
Okay.
nursing homes. Of course, handling like difficult situations with the employees not coming in. So different things like that. So I am familiar with like styling and keeping up with paperwork.
Beautiful. That's amazing. With this role, there is a lot of filing with actual paperwork. So that's good that you mentioned you have that transferable skill. So as far as systems, have you utilized Microsoft at all or the
Yeah,
Google system?
yeah. Microsoft Outlook, Word, even like PowerPoints for like orientation. So I'm kind of familiar with that whole role.
Awesome. And of course, you have proper written skills as far as conducting emails as well
Yeah, of course.
or creating. Okay,
Mhm.
perfect. So tell me, what do you like to do for fun, Malaysia?
For fun, just really hanging out with my family. I actually just moved into a new apartment, so just decorating my home, just getting everything together.
That is amazing. I know we briefly went over the systems as well. You mentioned that you have experience with inputting data into Excel, or can you create spreadsheets a little bit?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Um,
perfect.
yeah.
Yeah. And so with this company, they are a nonprofit organization, right? So we're not going into this role looking to get rich, but to be enriched. So talk to me about why you are looking forward to working with this organization.
I'm actually looking for a new role in like an organization. It seems very detail oriented. I feel like I'm a very detailed and organized person. And I feel like my skills align with the role and the description of the role. And I
Mhm.
just feel like I would be a good candidate for the role. Just learning. I'm also, willing to learn new skills every day. And I
Yeah.
am young and going to school, so I do look at leadership in HR. I'm actually in school for HR, human resources. So I definitely feel like I can learn a lot from the company, especially with a
Absolutely.
nonprofit.
Absolutely. And what skills do you feel as though sets you apart from other candidates?
I definitely feel like having knowledge in the payroll and the human resources, just having good communication. I feel like listening is a big thing to have, especially dealing with HR and payroll because there's a lot that
Mhm.
goes into it, and you want to make sure everything is good, especially like with paperwork. HR is a very something that's very detailed, so I think I have that skill.
Awesome. Awesome. That was beautifully said, Malaysia. And when are you looking to start a new role?
So my last position did end, so I'm looking very soon.
Okay, perfect, perfect. And when are you available for an additional interview if a client proceeds with that?
I say anytime like next week. Anytime actually I'm open availability, so anytime that aligns with their schedule.
Awesome, awesome. All right, Malaysia, it has been a pleasure speaking with you. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording, and then you and I will continue to chat off the
Okay.
grid here.